every step of their application completed and carefully reviewed to ensure their particular requirements for the ideal location are understood and met to perfection. Try getting that from the UC or Freestar resettlement programs. Fantastic! That's exactly the can-do, helpful attitude that List looks for in all its employees and contractors. We're looking for folks with ships and/or basic people skills to seek out suitable planets and leads on potential clients. I don't suppose you possess either of those qualifications? You know, I can tell that you do, just by the little we've interacted already. Most importantly, we need to collect data on habitable planets. The more habitable, the better. You know, that oxygen and water are musts. Other signs of life, even better. Secondly, we're always looking for new applicants. So, as you travel around meeting people, when the occasion arises, see if you can interest them in signing up for the list. I'm pretty sure I overheard some people in here talking about wanting to start a new life. Why don't you start with them? Bring any suitable planet survey data slates to me, and I'll happily pay you for them. And you'll also earn an immediate commission for each interested party who signs up for the list. So get on out there and make truly independent living a dream come true, and turn a few credits while you're at it. I am glad you asked. List provides members with a few tangible benefits and a few intangible ones. First off, we locate an ideal location matching the needs and desires of our members. After that, we provide transportation, as well as a starter set including basic hab modules, extractors, and seeds for farming, etc. Everything needed to get off to a good start. Then we set up a small encrypted satellite to aid communication between distant neighbors and the rare List ship that swings by the sector to offer aid and trade supplies if desired. But more importantly, List provides its members the satisfaction of living on their own and on their own terms, independent and free from harassment and governmental interference. Excellent! Thank you for any assistance you can lend us. Whoops, nearly forgot. Take this.
Hey.
Fancy seeing you here.
Yes? What? Mars isn't I can't tell one day from the next anymore.
Gotta try to liven things up a little.
I've got no complaints.
Do I know you?
A new job, a new apartment, so things are looking up.
And? This has scam written all over it. Does that actually work on people? Trust you? I don't know you. And you're not here to help me. You're here to sell something to me. I like that. I make promises to everyone but myself. If anyone deserves my loyalty, it's me. You know, I do deserve more than this. Maybe I've been too proud. I probably do need a hand with some things. Not sure where this will lead, but it beats sitting here feeling sorry for myself. Can't wait. I feel good about this.
Sidonia's not so mad. Honest work.
Pardon.
Hello, traveler. Will you join me for a while? You strike me as someone with an interesting story. Call it scholar's intuition. Meeting a kindly stranger is always a blessing. What brings you to Sidonia? Oh, a kindred spirit. I've been exploring the galaxy for years myself. I'm doing research for a book I intend to write. Voyaging through the Starfield is a humbling and beautiful way to live. It's a pleasure to meet a fellow nomad. It's going to be a philosophical text about my theories on the intersection between science and the divine. I've been studying that relationship for years, and I want to preserve my findings for future scholars. Join your crew? I usually travel alone, but the idea does appeal to me. I'd have more time to focus on my book if I were traveling with you. Are you willing to pay? I dislike taking money from friends, but I'll need some credits to stow my ship at Sidonia's spaceport. I'll work to make it up to you, naturally. I know a lot about starship maintenance, and I'm skilled at constructing outposts. I have plenty of piloting experience, too. I also think I'm a decent conversation partner. That has some value on long trips through deep space. Then we have an accord. Thank you for the offer. I need to speak to someone at the spaceport about stowing my ship. We'll see each other again soon.
I wish there was more to do around here.
Am I in your way? Sorry.
Sidonia may be rough around the edges, but it is utterly monumental for humanity.
Hey, Dusty. If you're ever thinking to yourself, that instead of dreaming about me, stop by and say hello, okay? Their soul, our first son. No matter how many star systems I visit, soul always feels like home.
Need some work done? Okay, no problem.
Now isn't the best time.
I need to talk.
My buddy Mitch keeps asking if I can help him out with something, but I just don't have the time.
Talk to me if you reckon you can hack it as a bounty hunter.
I can't.
Hey, darling. You look like the type who doesn't mind getting their hands dirty. The Trackers Alliance can always use more bounty hunters to round up and kill wanted criminals. If that feels like your speed, talk to me. Or check out our posts on the mission boards. Should I tell you? What the hell. It got me in trouble, but it's a good story. So, I got a bounty for this guy. Real tough spacer, you know? I find a ship, board without him knowing, and I literally catch him with his pants down, getting ready for the day or something, I don't know. Anyway, before he can react, I tackle him to the ground and cuff him, and he lets off a sly quip thinking he's got game, but I don't take kindly to that kind of advance. See? And well, bounty says alive or dead, so I make the call and I put him down. Anyway, turns out it wasn't the right guy, but this guy was also wanted. What are the odds, right? Well, the Alliance didn't think it was as funny as I did, so now I'm stuck here helping new recruits. Oh, darling. We're the baddest bounty hunters in the settled systems. People pay us to find criminals, scum, and other lowlives when they don't want to or can't track them down themselves. Good. If you recall, I'm only stationed here because of a mistake I made. Been bugging me ever since. The bounty that got away. Now, I heard rumors that this no-good, dirty quarry's been lurking around Mars, but I ain't had the good fortune of him strolling on in here. I think he's smart enough to know better. I got a plan in place to find him, but I gotta prove to my other tracker contact that he's here. That's where you come in. Just gotta plant a sensor. No danger to you. Ken Placus, smuggler. The worst kind. Deals in all sorts of black market goods. He's wanted for grand theft, human trafficking, murder, you name it. He's also extremely good at what he does. He's eluded the best of UC security for years. He's even slipped by our own trackers, myself included. I'm convinced he set me up to fail, found a lookalike to unwittingly take a fall, made me look bad. So I'm sure you understand it's kind of personal. He doesn't know it, but he's got a chip in him with a unique ID. Part of the reason he's learned to keep out of the major cities and settlements. Trackers always manage to find him when he comes to town, so he just stays away. But he's a slippery fella. That's why I want to send someone to catch him where he feels safe, just along the outskirts. Sensors tuned to that chip. Makes sense now, don't it? Alright, so you're gonna want to take this here sensor and put it way up at the tippy top of the old Mars launchpad tower where it's nice and unobstructed. You're gonna want to make sure you've got a boost pack to help get yourself up there, else it's gonna be a tough climb. Mars gravity's on the low side, but not that low. It'll track down my Mark's chip signal, assuming he shows, and I'll call in my partner to take care of him. Clear out and come back to me as soon as you're done so you don't spook the quarry. Get it? Got it? Good.
If you know anyone in need of food or shelter,
No, I don't think so.
Hey! Haven't seen you around here before. Did you just move in? Oh, yeah? Word gets around, I guess. Well, if you got a way to get off world, then maybe you can help. I found out recently that my favorite book series, Dragonstar Force, had a very limited initial run. I really want to collect all the first editions, but it's hard for me to get them shipped all the way out here. I already tracked down Volume 1. Could you go buy it and bring it back here for me? I'll pay you back, of course. Plus, extra for your trouble. They're these old science fiction fantasy books about space and good versus evil and a mysterious magical relic called the Dragon Star. Now, there's this team of heroes who fight space wizards, and dragons, demons, and whoever else seeks to take over the galaxy using the Dragon Star. You will? Wow, you're the first person to actually agree to do it. Thanks. Like I said, I'll make it worth it to you. You won't regret it.
Didn't think we had any new miners on account of the positions being full up. Well, that's a little weird. But, as long as Trevor's okay with it, I can't say that I mind. Anyway, I'm Layla. When I'm not mining, I'm tinkering with Gnome, our unofficial mascot. I fill that computer brain of his with all sorts of nonsense and announcements. Of course, if you're here to chat, I'm always happy to talk shop. Especially if you're interested in talking about the heart of Mars. Yeah, Gnome's been down here forever. He's also been broken forever. Can't actually walk or do work, and we don't have it in the budget to fix him. No one's had the heart to junk him, but when I started, I gave him new purpose. I programmed him to tell us local news and announcements. I modeled his responses after my own sarcastic sense of humor. It proved to be popular, so I did what any aspiring comedian would do and gave him a bunch of stupid jokes to tell. People love it. Or at least that's what they say. Very funny. Who sent you to ask? Was it Rivka? No, she seems to know what she's doing. I bet it was Hank, wasn't it? He always acts like he's top dog, but we all know he couldn't mine his way out of a wet paper bag. Oh, you're a miner too. Funny, I didn't think there were any new contracts starting. Which means you must work for a rival company. And if you think I'm going to divulge trade secrets, you've got another thing coming. Look, I won't report you, because we've all been there. But I'm not going to help you either. I like this job. I don't have any intention of losing it over something like this. This is only my second contract, so I think I've been here for 4 years now. It's great. I love it here. I'm working on getting those red eyes that are all the rage these days, you know. You'll hear a lot of these other chumps complaining about Sidonia. They say it's boring or dangerous or whatever. Look, I come from an ice planet. These people have no idea what they're talking about. Sidonia is practically paradise compared to where I grew up. Why? I mean, who wouldn't want cool blood red eyes? It's kind of a badge of honor thing around here. People know you're hot stuff when you got red eyes. Also, it freaks people who don't know about them. Except for little kids. They always seem to think it's awesome. Either way, it makes for fun social gatherings. Oh, so you're interested in the heart of Mars, are you? Word is there's a cave out in the Martian wastes with a gleaming node of the purest titanium ore you've ever seen. It's worth quite a lot of credits, but some say the heart of Mars is cursed. Hundreds have gone in search of it, never to return. And every one of them met a grisly fate. Maybe, just maybe, you could be the first to succeed, though. You know, if you think you got what it takes. No judgment if you're too scared. Fair question. I'm not really the adventurous type, to be honest. And frankly, I don't need the money. So, I don't really feel the need to involve myself with the prospect of a potentially deadly cursed chunk of titanium. Because in Roman mythology, Mars was the god of war. His heart is cold, but tough like titanium. One of the miners started calling it that long ago, and the name stuck. Seems fitting enough. What? No. I mean, maybe the cursed part isn't real, but who am I to say? Look, I told you what I know. You can either choose to believe me or not. All I can say is that if you manage to find it and avoid the curse, you'll be a legend around here. You seem pretty confident. Who knows, maybe you really will be the first. You'd certainly make history around here if you find it and live to tell. I'll share the coordinates of the cave with you. Remember to be wary out there, and best of luck. Hey, see you around, I guess.
Destination imminent. Be advised to secure loose articles and find stable ground or remain seated in the event of unforeseen tremors. Detonation occurs in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Almost break time.
Particle detonation concluded. It is now safe to resume normal activity.
I'd give anything for transfer to another enhance office. Somewhere more white collar would be nice. If you need a little, touch up, I'm happy to help.
Matt would like to join.
I admit, I took this job because I thought it would be easier and low stress. I thought, who would be getting cosmetic surgery in a place like this? But I was wrong. I am constantly busy treating scars, fitting prosthetics, and helping people recover from the dangers of working here. I want to keep working for Enhance. But until my transfer is approved and a replacement is found, it looks as if I'll be stuck here. You're probably right. At the end of the day, I'm helping someone look their best. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought. You'd be surprised, I think. There are many dangerous jobs on Mars. Mining, military training, manufacturing. As such, there are sometimes accidents. Therefore, it stands to reason there is a lot of reconstructive surgery to be done after the other doctors and surgeons do their work. The work being done here at this enhanced branch may not be as glamorous as others, but it is no less important to those that receive it. Stay well.
I'd love to take a vacation. If I had the time.
Let me guess. You're here because you were working a cutter, accidentally nipped your thumb off, and you need me to reattach it again? Well, that's a relief. So, what is it then? Some other workplace accident? Crushed toes? Nasty abrasion? Frostbite? Sorry. I tend to think the worst, since the overwhelming majority of my patients come here to treat entirely preventable accidents. I know it's my job to help people, and I love doing it, but I do wish they'd be a little more careful down in the mines. I'm Dr. Flynn. What can I do for you today? I've often wondered why myself. I've got some theories. From what I hear, the equipment's supposedly not in the best shape, so that's part of it. But I also happen to know the miners can get very competitive, since their bonuses are determined by how well they exceed their quotas. So that leads to a bunch of meatheads going out of their way to avoid following safety precautions, and taking shortcuts to squeeze out a little extra job performance. It's bollocks, that's what it is. You know, I've been saying that going on 10 years now. You'd think I'd take me own advice, open up my own practice on a nice, safe world, maybe settle down with someone. I'd be much happier, for sure. But the truth is, the pay is exceptional here, and all these careless Egypts keep me busy. Maybe it's enough to stay with it and retire early instead. Bollocks! Is that how I come off now? Work's getting to me, I suppose. It's just... You see, no one on this bloody planet seems to follow basic safety precautions. It's always, Dr. Flynn, reattach me arm, or help me with this frostbite. Well, maybe if you took the time to properly dress yourself for the outside, you wouldn't be losing your fingers, you Egypt. Sorry for the rant, just for a change, I'd rather be treating the common cold, and not some horrific yet entirely preventable accident. Take care.
Subterranean particle detonation. Be advised to secure loose articles and find stable ground or remain heated in the event of unforeseen tremors. Detonation occurs in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, you buy from me, maybe I can give you the same discount I give to locals. Hello, welcome to the Sidonia UC Exchange. The best goods, all courtesy of the United Colonies, straight to all of the wonderful UC soldiers, workers, and other citizens. I've got a little of this, a little of that, and maybe a little of some other things you wouldn't expect to find at the UC shop, But that's because I try to provide for everyone here. So please, browse my stock and let me know what I can get for you, friendo. Ah, yes, it is the accent. I have been asked this before. Do not worry, I take no offense. From a very young age, I spent most of my life among the stars, aboard one ship or another. I picked up many ways of speaking, many languages. Because of this, the way I speak sounds strange to some, but that is the price I pay for knowing all the languages I do. The UC, my employer, they try to furnish my exchange with plenty, but other planets, they need more, so we need to make do with what we get. But me, I have other ways of getting goods to sell, and so I do. I get a little bit of this and that, from here and there, and that is how I provide for you and me. You understand? Do I have any good deals, you say? Friendo, I am full of good deals. My prices may be fixed by UC pencil pushers many worlds away, but I may find ways to work with you. For example, I buy things to refurbish and resell. You bring me these, I give you credits, and we make deals. Oh, friendo, You have no idea. You see, not only do I sell goods for the United Colonies, I also need to receive the shipments, stock the shelves, manage the inventory. Why, even now I have this big delivery. Tracking says it is here, but it is clearly not here. I don't see it, do you? The ship is out in the desert of Mars, not where it should be. Ship services tells me they can look at it, but I need my goods soon, and they're taking too long. Or just various crates of supplies. Nothing unusual. You see what I have in stock, yes, friendo? More of that. The people here, they need their supplies. And I need to sell them supplies. And without that shipment, neither can happen, right? What happened? I don't know. The ship was marked as approaching, then it landed somewhere out there, and that was the last I heard. Did it crash? I hope not. But maybe, yes, it did. That would be terrible. My shipment would be ruined. And the ship's crew. Oh, how tragic. What if? But we must not assume. We must be sure. And we must get my shipment. That is also important. Let's not forget. Please, no. Have you ever dealt with them? I have. Too much bureaucracy. Everything takes too long. Some of the goods are perishable. You could do this for me much faster. And you seem better equipped than I to deal with any problems you may find on board. You could? Yes? This is what I hoped when we talked. If you go to where the ship was last seen, you could look at it. Find out what happened. Take care of anything on board that shouldn't be there. Pirates, killer robots, heat leeches, whatever. And check the crates to make sure nothing is broken. Then come back to me, so I can send someone to recover the shipment and get to sell it. Easy as peasy, as they say.
Particle detonation concluded. It is now safe to resume normal activity.
Be careful down near the mines, and enter any active sites at your own risk.
I've been thinking a lot about my early days in Constellation lately. Got me pretty nostalgic, and I started digging in some old things. Just sort of reminiscing. I found some of Irvin's last messages to me and thought I'd listen to them again to hear his voice. No, I apparently read at least a few of these. I just don't remember. It was a difficult time. It was surreal, honestly. So most of the messages were everyday things. Lots of excitedly written news about biodiversity and plant life. But one thing stood out. In one of his messages, he mentioned this job that he took at a mine shortly before he died. He said something terrible was happening there. The message was garbled after that. True, but this was different. I recognized this pattern from the war. A portion of the message was encrypted. Well, Vasco helped me decipher it. Turns out the message was from Irvin, and he was begging me to help him. The message was short, but his voice was pained. He was so upset. No, he was frustrated and angry. He said they were going to destroy his name. He said they were going to destroy his life if he didn't leave the planet now. Then he asked me to help clear his name. He said they had a case against him. Oh, he sounded so upset. Yes. Hearing his voice in so much pain was very difficult. Oh, I Wish I had noticed this message when he sent it. So in this message, Irvin said he was being framed. He said they'll do it again. He asked if Constellation could send more help. No, I just thought it was garbled. I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know. Not exactly sure, but he mentioned a court case. So I think there's a paper trail. His former employers had some job he took before he died. I think it was a mining company. I understand that. Trust me. But I still want to know what happened. He mentioned a court case. So there's a paper trail. Now, I happen to have a trustworthy contact who knows a bit about law and owes me a favor. I need to pay in advance in case there are any access fees or bribes. That works. I'll tell them to go ahead with the investigation. You know, hearing Irvin's voice again made me want to help him. Even though I know I can't. Does that make any sense? No, I know I can't. I just don't want whoever hurt him to get away with it. If that's what happened. I appreciate that. It's going to be hard to get some sleep tonight after all this. But the fact that I'm doing something about it might be enough to help. Hopefully poking around in old records doesn't catch the attention of Hephaestus. Well, anyway, I'll let you know if my contact finds anything. Hey, when you're not busy, let's chat.
A reduced noise ordinance is in effect every night from 2200 hours until 0500 hours the next morning.
You know, I believe we've got the best mining team ever assembled here. Welcome, welcome. Nice to meet you. Name's Trevor, mining director for the Deimos mining project here in scenic underground Sidonia. I could spare a minute or two to chat, so long as you're not looking for mining work, I suppose. Oh, that! Oh, nothing to worry about. We do fracking on Mars with subterranean particle detonations. Those announcements are just to let people know when to expect them. Now, you probably felt the rumble when the detonations actually go off. That's all it is. Not too bad, eh? Basically, it's high-tech mining. We use immensely powerful controlled particle detonations deep underground to loosen up subterranean gases and other difficult-to-gather resources so we can harvest them. Sounds way more dangerous than it is. Probably. Actually, it's still pretty dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Oh, come on, mate. It's perfectly safe. We're miles away, so all we get is a little jiggle now and again. Just make sure to hold the railing when going downstairs and you'll be fine.
Not so bad for one of the oldest mines in the settled systems. We struggle with the lack of decent equipment, but we work hard and make up for it. As I'm sure you know, we're responsible for supplying resources to Deimos Star Yards, which in turn is responsible for supplying UC naval vessels. That, among other major projects, makes us one of the United Colony's most important mining operations. The prestige and pay that comes with it almost makes up for being stationed at the arse end of the settled systems in the middle of nowhere. Yep, that's me. Joined up with Deimos when I was just 17 as a mining gopher. Go for this, go for that, you know how it is. I worked hard, proved myself capable, and got the promotion to mining director about 6 years ago, after the old boss retired. Some of the older guys resent me, but I give everyone a lot of leeway as long as they meet their quotas. So that keeps them happy enough.
The who's and what's it? Sorry, mate. I've got no idea what you're on about. Sounds made up if you ask me. But then again, maybe the other miners have been inventing some jargon I'm not familiar with. Best to ask around. Argos, huh? Yeah, I've heard of them. That's great, but yeah, unfortunately all our mining contracts are filled right now.
Unless, maybe you could help me out with a job. Off the books. Great! I promise it's nothing that'll get anyone in any kind of trouble. See, you might have noticed that our equipment ain't exactly holding together like it used to. Problem is, we can't get new equipment unless we start exceeding our quotas, and we can't do that until we get new equipment. A real dilemma, right? I've got a plan for solving our little problem, though. Okay, glad you're still on board. First, I need someone from the outside to bolster our yields so we can prove that we can exceed our quota. I'll fill you in on the rest of the details after you've hauled up some ore. One standard quota should do. I need to know I can trust you with the easy stuff first. Don't you think I want to? Corporate sets the contracts and they're not giving out anymore, so we work with what we've got. Something to do with insurance, benefits, and other liabilities, so I don't make the rules. Of course not. I'll pay you out of my own pocket. I care about my miners, even if corporate doesn't understand our struggles down here. I'm willing to put in some sacrifices to help. That's just the kind of guy I am. If I had the credits to buy all the equipment myself, I would. But this is the next best thing. When you've got enough, drop it off in the bin over there for processing. Then come see me.
The Office of Governor Hurst would like to remind all Sidonian citizens...
Mining takes all types.
You see something that I don't.
If you can lift it to it.
Almost like some sort of hive colony.
Okay, that ore you mined is really gonna bolster our numbers. Great. Now, the next part is a little trickier. Our Director of Mining Operations, Peter Brennan, fired his last assistant over a month ago. Peter's the only one who can approve the order for new equipment, and unfortunately, he's useless without an assistant. I think I've got a surefire way for you to get that job. Then you, as his assistant, can get him to sign off on the approval. We just need you to take the job until we get the approval signed. Then you can quit, keep it, or do whatever. It's not as bad as it sounds. Worst case scenario, you may have to go fetch some stuff for him and go over his messages. It'll be easy, I promise. Now hold on, it's not that easy. You'll need to apply for it like anyone else. Head to the Deimos Star Yard's office up in orbit to fill out the application. It's where that job is posted. Come back and see me when you've done that, and we'll talk about how to secure the position for you.
This is going to involve paperwork, and I have to let you know that suddenly my hands are just useless.
There's something very satisfying about blasting about pieces of Mars.
The miners pretty much run the lower levels here.
The Lux condos aren't anything special, but plenty of people call them home. Exchange is a great place to buy your weapons. Just make sure to keep them
I know I sound like a commercial right now, but I've been to other stores. They have the best deals.
Stay away from the Sixth Circle unless you're a miner. Or at least, don't come crying to me if anything happens to you.
Good old Deimos Star Yard. You won't find anything flashy here, but it'll get you where you need to go.
just skeeved me out. We progressed to hostilities already. Love it. What was that? Oh, good. I was wondering when we get to this. Yes, we made a bad impression. None for me, thanks.